I may be flawed. I might have lost my religion watching television. Now I might be losing the truth, Lord. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I've been robbed. I thought this screen was here to free me, but it can see me and everything I don't want to lose, Lord. If I base views on that fake news I relate to and can't miss, yeah. Said, how am I supposed to feel if I don't know what is, since I got my fake news? Cause I hate truth and ignorance is bliss, right? Yeah. So how am I supposed to feel if I don't know what is? Check it, hey. I can log in online, I can see my profile, I can think it's alright, yeah. Hey, I can think it's all fine, think it's all mine and go drinking all night, hey. But hang on, a thought was brought to my mind. They advertise a lot online, so something just bought that time. Right before that video I watched online. Listen, I'm not saying they can read my mind, but I'm pretty sure I'm being watched all the time. When I really do put a lot of thoughts online. Me and my friends, we all talk online. Everybody talking about what's hot online. When real world events, yo, they're not online. Now we got robots taking shots online, trying to show us what they got online while we shop online. But the product finds me. I look online for what might define me. Realize these folks don't even need to mind read. They control what I see, tethered to my needs. Maybe that's why I've been feeling so misguided. Only got to see what I identified with. Can't deny my frame of mind has been confined. The screens are smaller, the truth is harder to find. If you base views on what makes you feel like you always knew the same shit, yeah. How are you supposed to feel if you don't know what is, since you got your fake news? Cause you hate truth and ignorance is bliss, yeah. How are you supposed to feel if you don't know what is? Listen, we ought to get it checked, cause this could possibly become a threat to the entire concept of democracy. If I'm only shown the things they think I want to see, and that's my only source, that gives them a monopoly on what I see as true. Could happen to you too, if you happen to be relying on a lying source of news. The silicone dudes are only in it for the views, interested in knowing what you're most afraid to lose. Cause it's been crystal clear through these blissful years that most advertisers use a trick called fear. And that's why it's all weird, cause a lot of our peers are misguided, but our connection hasn't disappeared. We need to make our opinion by listening to those we agree with and to those that we are eager to oppose. And let me remind you, no matter the tale, the bricks we use to construct our views are for sale. Being uninformed, you might lose sight of how to do right. Trying to find the norm, you might inform yourself entirely wrong. End up where you don't belong, captivated, illuminated by a blue light. But we are human and we are flawed. We might have lost our religion, watched television, and now we might be losing the truth, Lord. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know who we are. We got these screens in between us, and they can see us and everything we don't want to lose, Lord. And this fake news might generate views, but we may choose to raise fists, yeah. How are you supposed to feel if you don't know what is? Cause we got our fake news, cause we hate truth and ignorance is bliss. Thinking you know what to feel, thinking I know what is real, but we don't know, we don't know, no, we don't know what is. Hear me talking about we don't know, we don't know, no, we don't know what is. Yeah, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know what is. Yeah, we don't know what is. Hello everyone, how are y'all feeling? Good? Thank you very much. And just a quick sip of water before I continue. Gotta stay hydrated, right? So my name is Benjamin Froh, and let me start again. My name is Benjamin Froh, and I'm a spoken word artist. That means I write poetry that's meant to be spoken out loud. I do this because I believe that words can be a really powerful weapon. I'm lucky enough to know that I'm not the only one who believes this. There's a lot of people that believe that words can inspire positive change, and I'm sure it might be one of the reasons why you're here today or watching this on the internet. I want to share with you today 2 poems that I've written. One of them I was asked to write by an organization that's working on sustainability and development, and the other one I wrote just to express my own feelings. And when I wrote these poems, I quickly discovered how powerful words can be, and I'm hoping that I can share some of that feeling with you today. So the first poem is called What If? And it's called that because the organization asked me to think of what a better world might look like and start with the sentence, what if? So I said, what if everyone in the world who was close to the flames, who saw their life change from a big hurricane, whose future might never be wholesome again, could look you in the eyes and tell you their name? Would it touch your heart? Would it scramble your brain? Would you think you must have gone insane? Would you be able to explain you really had to catch that plane instead of hopping on a train and say that that was not inane? Tell those who lived their lives in vain, shackled by production chains, that all of this was preordained, but we all played a losing game. What if all the working poor and all the people working for the food we ate, the clothes we've worn, would start to show up at our door, and plastic from the grocery store would rise up from the ocean floor and wash up on the open shore? Could we say to their face what our lifestyle is worth and ask which Amazon is the lungs of the earth? The planet is screaming, but we keep calm and carry on, speeding down the Autobahn. Our seatbelts aren't fastened on. The mad professor rattles on, but science lacks the lexicon to speak to our emotions, the only thing we act upon. Maybe we're uncomfortable because of too much information. And so long as aviation is our preferred mode of transportation, we will be writing a new interpretation of Icarus. See, to me it's quite conspicuous, but we all seem oblivious to the wisdom in the tales that antiquity has given us. You see, Icarus flew too close to the sun, and he died. Now, we're flying close to it a few too many times, and people keep saying, well, calm down, relax, but the temperature is already melting the wax. We've seen it in data and figures and facts and pictures and graphs and scriptures and maps. Sometimes it's even hard to tell them apart, but what if today we start building an ark? Yeah, what if today we make a new start? Well, we can make other plans, but there's no planet B. But what if we took the plastic up out of the sea and reimagined the way we would like it to be? What if we employed each climate refugee and paid them to make things sustainably? Because if we can invent things that cause this pollution, then we must be smart enough to come up with a solution. I think if we share, we can clear up the air. We just need to dare to make the world fair so farmers can farm without doing harm, and we can treat them and the planet with care, so people can make a sustainable income without all these terrible carbon emissions. Now that is a challenge I'm willing to take. And I guess that the statement I'm trying to make is, what as we give as much as we take from the birds and the bees and the seas and the lakes and the flowers, could we generate some sustainable power? If we can make videos like this one instantly viewable, then we can make energy sources renewable, so that we can be proud and the world can be beautiful. It might not be easy, but I think it's doable, because every time we're faced with a test, we shouldn't be scared and we shouldn't be stressed. If we stick together and stick out our chest, I think we can do it. Let's give it our best, because we might be unprepared and we might not know how, but the right time to do right is always right now. So that's the first. Thank you. That's the first poem I wanted to share with you today. And it brings us right into the second one, which is one that was actually the first poem that I ever wrote. And I'm really afraid that I'll never write anything as good. It's called The Time for Revolution. And before I start, I really hope that it inspires you to, and gives you some motivation, some energy, and inspires you to do something with words, maybe in your own life, and see how words can work to your advantage, and how words can build a better tomorrow. Because the right time for revolution is always right now. The right time for revolution is the moment you realize we're being screwed over. When you notice the weight of the world on your shoulders, now is the right time to drop it. Now is the time for a savior, a prophet. Now is not the time to be changing the topic, exchanging some gossip, or to return to your office. Because while we're bent over backwards for making a profit, they say tomorrow is never when things get accomplished. The right time for revolution is always right now. The right time for revolution is when anger is with you. Now is the time to repaint the whole picture. The top is too white. Let's mix up the mixture. Don't wait for the future, for it will not fix you. Don't give them the time to invent an elixir, because the right time is right now, my brothers and sisters. The right time for revolution is always today. Believe me, there is not a right time to wait. The right time is when you can honestly say, I'm sick of this world that is living in hate, and I'm sick of this world that is living in fear, believing whatever it wanted to hear. The right time does not have a day to appear. The right time might not always make itself clear, but please do believe me, my comrades and peers, the right time for revolution is already here. The right time is not once your taxes are filed. The right time is not once your hair has been styled. The right time is not when the system goes bust, because there is not a time when they'll listen to us. The right time is not on the 9 o'clock news, because the right time is something that we get to choose. The right time is not ever early or late. The right time is not a particular date, but the right time is not now to patiently wait. The right time is not now to procrastinate. Why would we wait and become disavowed when the right time is here to rewrite what's allowed? Because the future has never been promised or vowed, and I know that you're scared and you just don't know how, but the right time for change is always right now. Thank you very much.